Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanum pakhair ragale ni hao chunashume washmale ohio gonzaimes guten morgen. Hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, and a very amazing khush ahmadid to everybody who's tuned into PT World and are watching World this morning alongside the very pretty Mariam Shazad and Shazad Khan, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are 5 years and 1 day old, and I just can't be more happy to know this fact. Hello, Mariam. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing very well at home and you're ready with your teas and coffees to start your day with us. So we did our celebration yesterday. We have it's a very special day for us and it's a very special day for Shehzad. It's his birthday today and I wish
Wow.
him a very happy birthday. I hope you have many more.
Thank you very much.
And the weather is also amazing. It's been raining and I've been loving that. Shahzad has been quite sick, but I hope you guys are keeping well and you guys are keeping yourself warm with a lot of layers. And since we're talking about all the weather and what's happening in our life, let's see what's happening around the globe. Let's head towards the top stories.
Wow, that was just smooth. Good
Right.
morning, people. Top stories coming up. Pakistan and China signed 5 agreements and memorandum of understanding in Gwadar for strengthening collaboration between Gwadar and the Chinese port cities.
Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has said Gwadar will prove to be the hub of maritime trade and would eventually become backbone of Pakistan's economy.
Election Commission of Pakistan has announced schedule for upcoming Senate elections. Polling for the Senate elections will be held on March the 3rd.
The third two-day Economic Cooperation Organization Attorneys and Prosecutor General Conference begins in Islamabad today.
And Pakistan's Babar Azam becomes #1 batsman in International Cricket Council T20 ratings. Congratulations, Babar Azam. Way to go.
Rain lashed Rawalpindi, Islamabad and adjoining areas as Met Office predicted more rain with light snowfall over the hills and upper parts of country till tomorrow. Interesting.
Very interesting. Thank God, finally, I think for all those people who are out there who were feeling sick and had the trachea infection, I think it's going to get better. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT while you watching World this morning alongside Mariam Shahzad and Shahzad Khan. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we come over here with a very strong message, and that is that over here within Pakistan, for all those people who reside within Pakistan, there is no dearth of talent and there is no dearth of passion too as well. And this is why that these young kids who are actually over here in the studios with us are making us proud or are going to make us proud too as well, but they are literally in the process. Last year they went to France for a competition. We're definitely going to talk about that competition, but the name of the competition is Shell Eco Marathon, and from 20 countries, more than 500 teams are participating in this competition. Well, it's a step-by-step process where quite a lot of teams are actually going to eliminate it too. And then if they're going to make it to the final, they'll be in Singapore and they'll be competing against different teams from different parts of the world. And let's see whether they're going to make us proud or not. So this amazing team from Nast, they are with us right now. They label themselves as the Nest Eco Motive, and they're making a car which they think is actually going to travel 300 kilometers on an average speed of 35 to 40 kilometers per hour in just 1 liter fuel. Wow, that's just brilliant. So we're working on technology. We're moving in the right direction. On my right-hand side, our team lead, who is the final year student in mechanical engineering, NAS. He's none other than Mr. Muhammad Awais. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Islam. How are you? I'm
Absolutely
good, doing
perfect.
good.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you
You
so
know, you
much.
guys are
I'm
doing
really
a great
grateful
job
to
alongside
PTV
Mr.
for-
Muhammad Awais. We have been joined by somebody who's a final year student in mechanical engineering, NAS. He's none other than Mr. Haris Shahzad. Hello, Haris. Assalamu alaikum.
morning.
How are you?
Good.
And you are the
Happy birthday.
director.
Happy birthday, he said.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, happy returns to me. All right, but and you are the director.
I'm the director technical team. Technical.
He's the
Very
director
much right.
technical, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside Haris, we have been joined by somebody who's a second year student, and he's in computer science in NUS. And I seriously can't get my head around why he's actually roaming around with all those elder boys, because this is what my mother used to tell me in college or in university: do not be friends with somebody who's actually elder than you. But he's none other than Mr. Muhammad Usman Ehsan, and he's director marketing
For sponsorships.
oh, for sponsorship. Well, that's what comes to your mind when you talk about sponsorship. But thank you very much for joining us. And last but not the least, we've been joined by final year student in chemical engineering. Now she's none other than Miss Fariha Shadab. Hello, Fariha.
Hello.
And you are the director.
Marketing.
Okay, so everybody in the team is a director. I don't know who's working there. Okay, but thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And one of their members couldn't make it to the show because we could only assist 4 people over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, her name is Manur Abrar, and she's a final year student. So, Manur, your team's actually not missing you, but we thought that we should actually take care of
But they asked
No,
us
no.
to take your name,
Yeah,
yes.
it's not like that. So let's get started with the team lead.
Yes.
What is the competition all about?
Okay, the competition Shell Eco Marathon is basically about the fuel efficiency, and it's contributing and it's paving the way towards the future of mobility.
Okay.
So the competition primarily takes place in 3 regions: Asia, Europe, and America. So we are participating in the Asian event, which will take place in March, 8th of March to 11th of March. So this is what the competition is about. It's about the fuel efficiency. There are many categories. There is IC engines, there is electric, there is hydrogen fuel powered car, and everything about. And Nast Eco Motive, right now Nast Eco Motive is taking part in the IC engines for the competition.
What do we mean by icing?
IC engines, internal combustion engines. There are major 2 categories in internal combustion engines: gasoline, that is the petrol, and the diesel. So we are taking part in IC category in gasoline, the
Okay.
petrol one.
In petrol.
Yes.
Okay, so that's just cool. But first things first, and that is that how did you got to know about this competition? And because the competition, which when you guys went to France, it wasn't Shell Eco Marathon, or was it?
It was. It
Oh,
was
okay,
Shell
it
Eco
was Shell Eco Marathon as well.
Yes.
But France, I don't think is in Asia. So
Uh,
why? Yeah.
Last time we couldn't make it up for the Asian event.
Okay.
We couldn't clear our phases. We couldn't complete our timeline. So that's why we opted to gain some experience in Shell Eco Marathon Le Mans, which took place in June 2017. So that's why we opted for Le Mans. And as far as the question is concerned, where did we get to know about the Shell Eco Marathon?
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of teams from Pakistan compete in the event. The team PNEC is participating in the event. Considering the need for the awareness of environmental protection in Pakistan,
Yeah.
especially the road safety in Pakistan. So we opted for this competition, not just primarily for the fuel efficiency, for achieving fuel efficiency, but to make people aware of the road safety and the green environment and the need to protect their environment.
Very well said. But
Very
imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a car which you can only drive to the maximum of 35 kilometer per hour, I think this is what is road safety. No?
Right.
All right.
Moving on to Haris, as he is the team leader. So, what is your role in the project? And tell me a little bit about your project and how your university has actually assisted you with the project?
I am the technical lead.
Right.
I was the technical lead last year, and I'm the technical lead this year. And last year, our performance wasn't up to mark, right?
Right.
So this year, what we've done is that we've got in some really good people who've brought in some really good ideas this year, right? Around, for example, and we're really focusing on how to make a fuel-efficient car that is really safe for the driver,
Right,
right? We're having automatic fire protection, automatic braking, automatic steering, and we're bringing in so many things.
Automatic steering?
Yeah. I
Nice.
mean, that is one of the things that we're working on. We're working on so many things, it gets overwhelming at times, but our capable technical team is working on it, right? And there are challenger events and there are main events, right? The one thing that you mentioned that Le Mans, France is not in Asia, right? The thing is, there are 3 main events in Asia, Europe, and America.
Yeah.
And then there are challenger events throughout the year, and they're to prepare you.
Okay.
And these challenger events are held in France, Turkey, Brazil, South Africa. And our main goal was to prepare ourselves for Singapore by going to France.
Okay, very
And the
nice.
experience that we have gained from over there, I mean, we've met with teams from Netherlands, we've met with teams from Germany, from Turkey, from all over the world, right? And the experience was priceless, to be very honest. And we saw what they've done, we saw the mistakes that we've made, and we're trying to incorporate the improvements into our car, essentially.
Oh, very nice.
That is just amazing. But moving on towards Muhammad Usman Hassan over here. So now Usman, since earlier, there were students from GQ who were on the show too as well, and they even built a car. But what I don't get is that when it's Shell Eco Marathon, I think is such a bigger brand that they can actually sponsor all those countries who basically make it to the final step or the final leg of the competition. But then why do we even talk about having sponsors or getting sponsors? Because the universities do not really assist you financially too. And for all of this research which is going down in the line or in, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's going down in the drain because there's no automobile industry over here in Pakistan where you can go and pitch the ideas and be a better human being or an entrepreneur. But then why do we actually have to put in costs from our own pockets? Why do we do such projects?
No, but adding to that, I want to ask you: does your university did it assist you in this project by financially or likewise what he said?
All right. So basically, the thing is that considering that our team started participating in this competition from last year onwards.
Yeah.
So last year we didn't have any previous experience to show to our university that we are working on something. So considering that, even then our university supported us even financially too, and this year around they are also supporting us financially.
Wow.
And the thing is that last year was the first step to basically show everyone out there that we, the students of NUST, we, the students of Pakistan, are actually building something up. And even though it took some motivation, it took something out of ourselves too, to go out there in France and showcase the world that we are definitely capable of this thing.
Right.
So it was like the first step forward in this direction, and we believe that it was basically a step forward to show everyone out there that we can actually achieve something.
And we can definitely, and we will too. So Faria, where are we in the competition right now?
I'm handling marketing.
Yeah.
So basically, this time around, we are aiming for the Communications Award. That award is basically how much of the idea of this whole event is integrated into the society. Basically, how many people know about this idea.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm handling that, on-ground marketing and social media marketing.
So how are you planning to do that? Because we definitely have one of your clips where you have taken your car and you've showcased it in different
In
malls,
different
different
yes.
places.
Yes.
Then the team went down to Vihari too
Vihari,
as
yeah,
well.
it's
I'll talk about Vihari, but right now I think what we need to do is that we need to share that small clip with all of those people who are out there so that they can actually get the idea of how talented these people are. But before we move on towards that clip, what I wanted to ask was, why Vihari? Why not very common places like Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Lahore, Faisalabad, Karachi, Multan, Peshawar, Hyderabad? Why not these places?
Okay, so we most of the people in the team are from that area, Multan
Bihari?
area. Yes, Multan.
Wow.
They're from Multan. So basically, when they went
Saraiki.
home back,
No, I'm not.
No,
when they went back in the holidays, so they decided to market there. So
Okay.
that's the reason.
Okay, so that's
Right.
cool. So then how are you planning to build up on communications or integrating into the market too?
Okay, so the Communications Award is divided into 3 parts.
Yeah, now we're
First is the personality of the whole team.
Yeah.
How the team is selected and their diversity and what are the objectives we get from that. The second part is about the car, the technical thing. How is it different from last year?
Yeah.
And the third is the whole story behind the whole car. This time around, we are targeting 4 main focus areas, that is greener environment, safety, sustainability, and of course the main thing, unity.
What is
Right.
sustainability in a car?
As in sustainability of the team of this
Okay,
whole
sustainability of the
competition.
team,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, but
Sorry, didn't get it.
No worries.
come on, Shazad, we'll give you margin because it's your birthday.
Well, it's
Oh,
perfectly
yes,
all right.
happy
You know, even
birthday.
if it wasn't, you know, there's no other choice other than giving margin. Yeah, but moving on to you now.
Yeah.
Since you guys went to France,
Yeah.
you know, there was a different competition, and you wanted to build up your own capacity too. So now, you know, for this Charlie Eco Marathon, where you guys are going to go to Singapore, you're making a car out of scratch, right?
Yeah.
So it's a literally newer model.
Yeah.
And you are the technical lead. So what kind of technical difficulties do you face over here? Because we do not have access to such amazing research laboratories or probably scientists roaming around you people who are actually going to tell you that these are the mechanics and whatnot. So we just try, and teachers can help us the way they can, but we cannot get an extra edge over here. So how are you coping up with that?
Naturally, there are constraints.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Pakistani student, we cannot build our own engine from scratch because we do not have those facilities over here.
Yeah.
We have to work with the local engines that we have, alter them as much as we can, as much as we possibly can, try to get as much fuel efficiency out of it as possible, right? But the thing is that as a NUS student, we're lucky because we do have good laboratories, we do have good facilities, we do have really good professors who are there helping us 24/7. They're available for us. We can call them, everything, and they're really experienced in this. We have our own automotive research facility, right?
Wow.
So, I mean, as a NUS student, we're rather lucky, to be very honest. Yes, there are difficulties. For example, if we need to get something manufactured to a really good accuracy, we sometimes have to go outside our university for that. But most of the facilities are already present in our university, so I think we'll be able to do it.
So,
that's
what kind of technical techniques are you actually using? For example, you know, there are people who are making cars out of 3D printers too as well to just make it light, and all of these things need to be under consideration. So, given the facilities, do you think that we'll be able to cope up with that? And in which phase are we of this Chal Eco Marathon competition?
We're about to start testing our vehicle
Okay.
in a little while. And as for the different technical details, for example, we're making a really light body using carbon fiber. It's really strong, it's really light. And our chassis is made from hardened aluminium, which is again very light and gives us that strength. Our engine is really efficient, and we're working on somehow making it freewheel and everything, which will allow us to really improve our efficiency. Apart from that, we have frictionless tires and everything. So it's it all really adds up and everything.
All right,
Just
that's
enough.
just amazing. Moving back to the team lead now.
Muhammad.
Now, when you guys got to know about the competition and you knew that now we have to make a team, and then there might be a few different arrangements which you had to make in terms of who needs to be on board or who wasn't on board, because when you went to France, he was probably in his first year too. Were you a part of the team when they went to France?
No, I wasn't
See,
part
so there were new amendments within the team. How did you do that? And then what were you looking for in your team members?
We faced a lot of difficulties last year because, as Usman said, we had no previous experience and no one trusted us. Even if we went to the other departments like business department, humanities department to come work with us, they didn't. Some of the members did come, but they didn't work as hard as they could. But so what we did, we just managed to do it on ourselves. All the team was from SMME on mechanical department, sorry. Only the one guy was from electrical department, and the major focus was that to achieve something so that for the next year, people will take us seriously. That's why he is from, we have people who are working from business department, from chemical department, from social humanities department, because they take us seriously now. So this was the major difficulty that we faced last year.
And why does it always have to be a junior who actually goes around and keep on asking about sponsors too as well? Always. Even within my own university, we'll definitely ask that. But right now the video is ready, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to share that with you. Go ahead, take a look and take pride in it because they're doing a fabulous job. Truck art So that was a small clip, and this is the car which they are actually manufacturing.
That
Is
is
this
true.
the exact car?
No, this was the previous car.
This was from France, but this one they're going to start testing it, and they do not want to share it because there can be other people who actually take away the idea too. But with that, we're going to go for another short commercial break. Don't go anywhere because sponsors are really important. That's what we're talking about. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning alongside Mariam Shahzad and Shahzad Khan. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by NAST Ecomotive team, and they're going to participate in Shell Eco Marathon, and they'll be traveling on the 8th, I think, of
March.
Wonderful.
March, and they finally made it to the competition. The car's almost ready. They're in the testing phase. But other than testing, what we need is money to probably make it to Singapore. So let's move on to the sponsorship guy. Where are we in terms of sponsors?
All right, so the thing is that the main reason why we need sponsorships is basically to actually build the car and to transport it to the venue.
Yeah.
So those are the main two steps. So as far as making the car is concerned, so Atlas Honda, Britlight, and Aeromotive have been very generous in helping us. Aeromotive has been helping us to build the carbon fiber body. Britlight has been generous enough to help us with the electrical systems of the car. And so yeah, so these were they helped us from last year onwards, and this year around we are also they are also helping us this year around too. At the moment, we are looking for like a travel sponsor so that we can actually transport the car to the actual venue. So that is our main focus at the moment.
Wow.
Right,
And
wonderful.
you guys are going to travel on your own? Are you guys going to spend the money from your pocket? How is that going to work? Because the entire team is going to go, or only 2-3 people are going to go?
10 official members can go.
10 official members are going to go. All right. So
So-
now the interesting aspect over here is that for me it is a moment of honor and pride that there are
It
women
is.
who are stepping up into this industry too. How do you feel about it, and what about your parents and your family members? What do they think
Yes.
about it?
About this whole competition?
Yeah.
I've always been interested in events which can portray a positive image of Pakistan internationally.
Wow.
So when I told my parents and my family members about this, they were really excited. They were like, yes, you should go and participate in it. So that's why I chose something. I like connecting with people a lot, getting to know different people. So I chose marketing as my style.
Okay, that's cool. Now, talking about marketing, since we are for the very first time focusing
Yes.
on an award which actually tells, or they say that we need to integrate and we need to share the information with maximum amount of people. Where do you think we are in those terms?
Okay, so this is the first time that we're going to target this award, Communications Award. And like I said, we want a team sustainability. So that's why we want it to be integrated into the masses so that more people can know and they're interested in this competition. Okay, have you seen the film Cars?
Yes.
Yeah. So I basically have decided to integrate that idea. First, it's all about speed, and that car
Right.
focuses on speed. Later on, that car learns there are more other important things than speed. So we've decided to integrate that idea into our things because last year it was about speed and fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
This year round, it's more about the idea of unity and tolerance in the country.
Yeah.
So we've decided to integrate it through on-ground marketing like we did in Bihari. And as the university opens, it's our holidays right now. As the university opens, we'll be going to different schools and marketing this in the General.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That's-
But we do not have much time left. I think it's only a month's
We,
time left, right?
actually, there are deadlines for the Communications
Yeah.
Award. The deadline, the final deadline is on 15th Feb.
Okay.
Right? So before that, we'll be going to the different schools. and
Imagine
everything.
somebody riding their car on Valentine's Day. I
We
think that can be a good marketing idea, by the way.
Yeah, we can.
That
we
you
can
know, if you do
also
not
make-
have money to take out your Valentine, save your money with this fuel-efficient car and go wherever you feel like.
We can also have an art competition from the kids and make a whole car. of that.
Exactly.
Oh, that is lovely.
Even that can
These
happen.
are ideas in the pipeline, so let's see how it works.
Amazing. But getting more technical about it, and that is that the competition all about having maximum kilometers on the meter within lesser fuel. That's what the competition is all about.
That is what the competition is all about. Essentially, it's about sustainability, right? A sustainable future for humanity. I mean, we both know that fossil fuels are running out. We're not going to have petrol cars here for a long
and the
time, right?
emissions are not that
Yeah.
cool too as well.
Yeah, exactly. So the competition is about a sustainable future. We have electric cars, we have hydrogen cars, and then we have IC cars. I mean, and most people would say that IC cars don't make sense if you're having electric and hydrogen cars in the competition,
Yeah.
right? But and while I agree that that electric cars and hydrogen cars are the future, but the thing is that we have that fuel and we need to use the remaining fuel sustainably, right? And we need to use it fuel efficiently. So while we're working on electric cars at the moment, we are also simultaneously working on using our current fuel resources in a sustainable manner. So we're also working on IC cars right now.
So so basically, I'm moving on. This is a link to Shazad's question. So I've seen that big giant cars like Mercedes and BMWs, they have come up with, they're gearing up with high-speed eco-motives. So do you think Pakistan is going to come up with high-speed automotives like that?
It has to eventually, to be very honest. I mean, the whole world is moving towards them. For example, I think Britain is banning IC cars in 2040, I believe, or 2030, and Germany is similarly banning IC cars in 2030,
Yeah.
I believe. So the whole world is moving towards it, and Pakistan ultimately will have to move towards it.
So do you see a future in eco-motive in Pakistan? Do you see a market of your product or of your project in Pakistan?
Definitely, most definitely.
Because these competitions are definitely going to take away the technology, and that's why you're going over there. That's why you're sharing that technology with that. But to see that technology becoming a reality, I think there's still time to come, or no, or what do you think is the future of this technology?
Okay, so that's why we started this initiative, because we wanted people to get an idea of how important this is to portray a positive image of Pakistan internationally because of all that's going on in the country. And this time around, we decided to target the Communications Award. Even with less time, we decided to see where we stand in terms of this. So the future is obviously bright and positive if people.
That's how we need to think
yes.
about it.
We just need people who take initiatives in these.
So who's going to drive the car? Who's the driver? Where's the driver? I want to see the driver.
She didn't come with us.
She didn't come.
yeah,
Okay, so you even have to keep that in mind that that the driver weighs less so that it can
Yeah.
be more efficient.
Hiba will be driving our car.
So do you guys train or whatnot that since because 300 kilometers is roughly going to at the speed of 35, it's going to take 4 or 5 hours, I guess, or probably more than that. So how are you going to train that, and then do we have pit stops in between, or how does it work?
In
The
our
actual competition. Now imagine we are in Singapore and today it's the competition and Hiba needs to set off.
okay. In the competition, you have to run the car around 10 laps or 12
10 laps.
10 laps. So there are no stops for our category, prototype category.
Okay.
So what we will do is first inspect our car using technical team as drivers,
Yeah.
and then train Hiba on our car once it's ready.
So it's just 10
completely
laps,
ready.
that's it.
10 laps,
10 laps.
10 kilometer approximately.
Each lap is roughly 1 to 1.1 kilometers.
So how much cost are we talking about over here? I'm very sorry that I'm bringing up this question, but the only
Okay.
reason why I'm bringing up this question is so that if there are people from good corporate organizations and they get to know, and if they're like, oh, that's even nothing, so they might be even willing to help.
For the cost of the total project, including our airfares, air cargo, and the construction manufacturing of the car, it's roughly around 2.4 million.
2.4 million, and that's not quite a lot anyway. There, I mean, people over here are spending millions and millions of rupees on useless stuff, or probably bags which are made up of snake skin and crocodile skin. I'm not literally talking about you, but it's probably or cell phones. Imagine that even if you're going to buy 15 to 20 cell phones, that's the cost which it's going to make. And
Right.
if there are people who are actually making us proud and they're projecting the soft image of Pakistan and they're telling the world that we are actually advancing in terms of technology, I think this is the need of the hour and this is how we need to do it too. How do you see the future of this technology? Now, this
Yes.
is one thing, and do you think that this is sustainable technology? This is the way to go, or no? In days to come, the times will change because I see that they are trying to prolong the usage of fuel over here. That's why we're talking about too much economy. That it's actually going to come down to 35 or 45 speed, and then 300
Right.
kilometers in 1 liter.
And I'm going to link another question with Shazad. So, have you pitched this idea to the government also? Is the government supportive to your idea?
We haven't actually.
We haven't
Pitched
actually
government.
approached the government exactly, but we are approaching the top people of our university so
Right.
that they can put forward this concept better in front of the
Imagine,
hirings.
because if you're talking about national interest over here, Pakistan International Airlines might be of help too as well for in terms of air cargo, airfares, and all of these things. So the sponsorship guys need to sit down and work on these things as well. But the rest of the answer.
Obviously, as Haris said, that the future is electric. So
Yeah.
what we are doing is we will be making the electric car in our future,
Okay.
maybe next year or a year after that. But right now we are working on our petrol engine so that we can increase its fuel efficiency.
Well, this is cool.
That is lovely.
Yeah, Marie, do you want to move on?
Actually, this has nothing to do with this, so I would like to ask you.
Okay.
So, was it easy for you to, continue with this project as were your parents very supportive to this? Because there are a lot of parents who want their girl to be
I
a doctor or what,
understand.
something else. So, were they supportive in this?
The reason I'm sitting here is because my
Because of
parents are
your
really
parents, right.
supportive in
Yeah.
this idea. Yes, it's a challenge. It's always a challenge, and I think that's the fun part and that's the learning part. You get a challenge, and there are difficulties that you have to go through.
Yeah.
But that's it's important not only for Pakistan but also for your personal development.
Obviously.
So you say it on.
But you are growing, and it's so good to see that all these young guys and a girl is sitting here making cars and everything.
Wow. I think the only thing which I can make is a paper plane. but Muhammad Usman, what about your parents? What about your family? Are you telling me, yaar, kya mechanic hi ban gaye yaar tum to?
All right, considering that I'm a computer science student
Yeah.
who's getting sponsors on board for a mechanical engineering team, so that basically itself explains that it's a very diverse world out there, and I'm very grateful to my parents that they understand that it's not only about reading from the books nowadays, it's also about the actual physical world out there and getting the exposure, which actually helps in the real world. So yeah, and same is the case with all of us, that we all understand that we
Harish,
need to
what
have
about
the
you?
exposure.
Sorry,
What about you?
could you repeat the question? Sorry.
So the question is that, how does your family feel about you making a car and, putting parts together? Arey bete, mechanic banna hai kya? Isliye nurse mein padhe the.
I have been taunted a couple of times, to be very honest.
All right. And then?
I choose not to respond, to be very
Wow.
honest. So, my parents were actually pretty surprised. I mean, a car that has been built in Gawal Mandi and the workshops in Rawalpindi is competing with cars built in high-tech facilities from throughout the world. I
Yeah.
mean, my parents were actually really proud and really surprised that, we were able to do that. And I'm lucky that I have really encouraging parents who want me to do this, who say that go ahead and do it, do whatever you want. If you feel that this is going to help you in the future, if you feel that this is going to help you grow as a person, then go ahead and do it.
Amazing. Muhammad Awais.
I and Haris were in the previous team too, and we worked late at 12, 11. We were going home at 1, and our parents have been really
Group study
supportive.
wala
That's why they invested us into. We went to France on our own. We had no sponsorship for our airfares, and
Yeah.
so our
But you
parents
guys did it.
supported us.
Well, that's just great. But one last thing, and that is
Yes,
that whenever
I want
you're in university and you're together, there's just one guy who's actually working, and the rest of them are having pizzas and advising, oh, yeah, why don't you do it like this? and they're of no help. So who's that one person who's working?
Muhammad Awais, our
So
team
you're
leader.
the one who actually works, and the rest of the people, they're like, okay, we can do this.
No, they all work
So they look
really well.
hardworking.
He's just exaggerating.
Okay,
Oh, that is
and
so
one more
lovely.
thing, and one more
I
thing.
want to ask one last question.
Yeah, if that's cool, but one more thing. My last question, ladies and gentlemen, over here is that do you think that the university and the professors actually help you and give out more time or mark your attendances if you guys are missing other classes too as well?
Our faculty advisor is Dr. Samir Rahman Shah, and he has been really helpful to us and supporting us and constantly advising us, whether on call, giving us time in his office, and supporting us a lot.
That is very nice.
And he's probably like the best engineer, to be very honest, that I know, that I have met, and he is brilliant.
Wow.
So
Exactly. Same.
He modifies his own cars and go to the Jeep rallies as well. So
Yeah.
that's why
So
he's
we
the
have
best.
help from our department too, my own department, the chemical department of NAS. They're also very interested in this competition, and yes, attendance is they mark it.
Wow, cool. Okay, now
Yeah.
you can answer.
Yes,
Ask you.
thank you, Shazad. So I wanted to ask you this before wrapping up. So where do you see eco-motive industry in Pakistan over the next 10 years, and where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Building MPM.
Probably over here interviewing, something of that sort.
So,
Or a younger kid sitting over here and saying, "Oh, I haven't known
Yeah.
anybody, better than Muhammad Awais, ladies and gentlemen. He's a great engineer. He's an inspiration." Something like that.
let's hope so.
Seems so, yes.
what our major target is to make a new technology or for Pakistani industry. As you all know that Pakistani automotive industry is growing well in Asia.
Yeah.
So that's our major target, and
It's
where
going to help.
we see ourselves in 10 years, probably the best team of Shell Eco Marathon.
That is
That's our
Or
goal.
probably organizing such events where people are bringing in more technology to Pakistan.
Yes.
There are right now 7 or 8 teams working from Pakistan on this project, right?
yes.
So 10 persons from each team, there are 20 to 30 sometimes. And imagine all those brilliant engineers coming together and actually building a proper four-person car
Yeah.
that is going to be built for the
Road
Pakistani roads, right? So, I mean, the future is bright. We have brilliant engineers coming through and everything. So,
Exactly.
let's hope so.
Beautiful. Usman.
Same like what Haris and Wes said. Basically, the exposure that these competitions give can be brought into Pakistan and basically explained to the local people out there. And I believe such exposure can be really helpful in building such
And
a
if
product.
they're in your CV, I think they help you get noticed too as well.
Yes.
What about you?
One of the major things that I see 10 years further in Pakistan is how people take initiatives, not just this sole competition, but other competitions that,
Exactly.
represent the image of Pakistan. And obviously myself organizing such high-level
Yeah.
events there. That's
Thank you
how
very
I see
much.
it.
Thank you very much,
Wonderful.
people,
Thank
for
you so
coming
much.
over. Thank you very much. Next
Thank you
Eco-Motive.
so very much.
And best of luck to the
Yes,
entire
good luck.
team. May
Thank you so much.
Allah be with you, and all the best for your future endeavors, and may you guys win whatever you're focusing for or about. But ladies and gentlemen, I think as Pakistanis, as members of the society, we need to put in our efforts to help all of these gentlemen and the ladies who are working together to make Pakistan proud. So if there's anything which you want to share with us, please write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning without a G.
on Daily Motion and YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And this fabulous repeat's going to be at.
11:05 p.m.
So till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.